When can you challenge a court's legal jurisdiction? Imagine walking into a courtroom and realizing the judge might not have the authority to hear your case. That moment can be confusing, but knowing when and how you can challenge a court's jurisdiction is key. Jurisdiction is the court's power to hear and decide cases. It depends on things like where the case happened, who is involved, and what the case is about. You can challenge jurisdiction at different times during the legal process. First, before the trial begins, you can file a motion to dismiss the case if you believe the court lacks authority. This is called a pretrial motion. For example, if the case is about a contract made in another state, but the court is in your state, you might argue it does not have territorial jurisdiction. The court will then decide whether it has the power to hear the case before moving forward. If you do not challenge jurisdiction before trial, you can still raise the issue during the trial. Sometimes, jurisdiction is not obvious at first. If the court proceeds without ruling on jurisdiction, you can object during the trial. The judge will then look at the evidence and decide if the court has the authority. If the court finds it does not, the case can be dismissed. Jurisdiction can also be challenged after the trial ends, especially on appeal. Even if the case has been decided, if it turns out the court lacked proper authority, you can raise this issue on appeal. This is because jurisdiction is a fundamental part of the legal process and cannot be waived. There are different types of jurisdiction you might challenge. Subject matter jurisdiction is about whether the court can hear the type of case. Personal jurisdiction concerns whether the court has authority over the person involved. Territorial jurisdiction relates to the geographic area where the case should be heard. Sometimes, jurisdiction can be challenged if the legal documents were not served properly or if procedural rules were not followed. Challenging jurisdiction is an important step to ensure cases are heard in the right court. It helps prevent cases from being tried in courts that do not have the legal authority. If you believe the court does not have jurisdiction, raising this challenge can lead to case dismissal, saving time and resources. Courts generally requiring that jurisdictional challenges be made promptly to avoid losing the right to raise the issue later. But because jurisdiction is so fundamental, it can be challenged at any point if it is clearly lacking. This means you do not have to wait until the end of the case to question the court's authority. In short, you can challenge a court's legal jurisdiction whenever you believe the court does not have the power to hear your case. Whether before, during, or after the trial, raising this issue helps keep the legal process fair and in the right hands.